Okay, well, we are on Struggle Street, driving the Struggle bus and not getting anything done this past week and a half or so. Well, maybe not quite that low of production, but we are getting a few things done, I guess. So the Stroker 8.2 motor is still needing to be fired up. It is very close. The wiring, if you remember the last video on this car, the wiring was terrible in it, and it took a lot of clipping and cutting and redoing to make everything right. It was in sad shape. But we are nearing the end of the wiring, and I must say the Holley Terminator X setup for a Fox body Mustang is pretty stinking nice. Super easy to work with. You know what? I'm gonna turn the camera around, show you guys a little bit of what's going on under the hood of this thing. There's a lot. There's a whole lot done, a whole lot to be done, and hopefully it's gonna run soon. But check it out. Okay, for those of you who have been really paying attention, the 42-pound Ford injectors stayed in it for now. I'm worried that the gas tank is probably going to have some stuff in it that's going to come loose, and I don't want to pass it through those brand new FIC injectors. So anyways, some of the wiring is done over here. I think you can see right in there is the relay that supplies the power to the coil. And then down here is a giant 70 amp relay that keeps that fan happy right there. That thing pulls a lot of current. Plug wires are in place. Alternator charge cable had to be redone too. If you remember in the previous video, this had a giant red cable draped around here that looked really bad. So that stuff is all done. There's some really cool stuff actually that came with this Holley setup for this car. For anybody that's wondering, let me turn the camera. So obviously it's not in here yet, but they give you enough harness to put the computer underneath the seat, and they even give you the bracket that mounts to the seat bolts and all of that stuff. So that's actually really cool. So just a quick update on that project. I think the owner is going to be really satisfied with it because it is about 10,004 times better than it used to be. Bob is still sitting here patiently awaiting his turn after this car is gone. It will be back eventually for a turbo kit upgrade and let's see, what else was it? Fuel system upgrade part 2, turbo kit redo part 1, and let's see what else we're going to do to it. We're going to turn it up. We're going to put a little more boost in it and a little bit bigger turbo. Hopefully to relieve some of the back pressure problems that it's having, that I know that it's having. We haven't verified yet, but it's happening. And yeah, all that neat stuff. But check it out. Here's Bob. I don't know if you can see, but he has a sad face somewhere around here where the turbo is not sitting. Collecting dust and whatnot. See the S10's not over there. I drove the S10 to work today, so I had some extra minutes to get there, and let me tell you, that thing is slow with all of the 90 some odd horsepower that it has. But it's super clean. It's still kind of fun to drive. Springtime gets here, it's going to get an LS swap. Let's see, what else are we working on? Oh, so some of you guys probably saw the short video that I did of the orange car, the two-step test in Chris's garage. We took that car to the dyno and had a multitude of problems with it, and the correction or the learning was acting weird. I would apply the learn to the fuel table, and the fueling didn't really seem to improve, and the air fuel ratio was kind of just all over the place and just not what we're looking for. So upon further inspection, we found that the alternator is probably not working to some degree, and or the fuel pump the brand new $1,600 Aeromotive 7-gallon per minute hour pump thing is maybe having problems. It's kind of hard to tell. So Chris took the car back home and he's checking that out, but I'll show you a couple of the dyno pulls right here. And let's take a look at some of the, at least the last data log from this thing, so I can kind of show you what happened on the data log and make a little more sense. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this data log real quick. I kind of biffed this one. I guess I should have looked over this stuff a little closer when the car was at the house. But nonetheless, what's done is done, and it's time to learn from our boo-boos. So I'm going to show you what happened on the last run and presumably throughout the night, and explain, well, I won't have to explain to you. You'll see what's wrong with it. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you the data log, and then we'll talk about it some. Okay, so first things first, what you're going to see here, the yellow line is fuel pressure. And as you can see, it's dropping throughout the run right there. That's cause for alarm in and of itself. The good thing is that Holley is pretty intuitive for that kind of stuff, and we don't have any safeties built into it yet because we're just now getting started with this thing. But this darker green line right here is the air-fuel ratio. I'm sorry, that's the target. And then the red line, the jagged red line on top of it, is the actual air-fuel ratio. And as you can see, it's trying to follow it. And it does a pretty good job, except for right here at the end, where the air-fuel ratio starts to climb a little bit. And it's not too bad. It's only missing the actual air-fuel ratio by about 0.6. And this is only on, let's see, 15 pounds of boost. So that's actually a problem also. Then the one other thing that, let me see, it's not shown in here. See if I can find voltage real quick. So we got battery in here now. So battery is the dark green one, and you'll notice at the end of the run it's only seeing a whopping 12.9 volts. And one other thing to take a look at here is the turquoise colored line is the injector duty cycle, and you expect that one to rise throughout the pull. But the problem with this one is that duty cycle is 72%, and these are 210-pound injectors, and it's only making about 850 horsepower. So we have to decide what is actually the problem. It's the chicken or the egg thing. Is the battery voltage causing the fuel pump to not keep up? Is the fuel pump faulty and the battery voltage is a secondary problem? So on and so forth. And right now, my suspicion is that the battery voltage is a problem. The alternator's not charging fully like it should. And the primary problem is that I think the fuel pump is giving up, or has given up, or is defective right out of the box. And the only reason I say that is for two reasons. One, the fuel pressure is dropping. Two, the fuel pump doesn't sound normal, or what I would consider to be normal. It's one of the brushless, giant, really expensive, super good fuel pumps, and it just does not sound right. So Chris has the car at his house. He's going to take a look at it, and he's going to get these things doctored up. Oh, and on that last pull, the big fireball and all the noise that you heard, that is actually a header gasket giving up. Kind of scared me. I thought we tore it up on the dyno, but luckily it was just a header gasket. And all the sparkles that you see blowing out of the exhaust is the gasket getting passed through there. So, whew, no big deal there. All right, guys, that's probably a good solid place to end this one. Got more than one project, more than one iron in the fire, and trying to get all this stuff taken care of so we can get Bob back in the middle, because we are rapidly approaching turbo weather here in North Texas. I'm looking forward to that because, well, cars just don't like to run when it's 100 degrees. And, well, to be honest with you, I don't like to run either. So we'll get Bob ironed out or put together just in time to get some of that good cool weather and take advantage of that good DA. Hopefully we'll get down under 1,000 feet and, go and make some of that big power that comes with it. But anyways, thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. Just a quick update of what's going on in the garage. Be sure to subscribe and thumbs up and all that neat stuff so you'll see what's coming up in the next videos. And outside of that, we will see you in the next video. Thanks.